Hey guys, welcome back to Fishyaker.com. It's Saturday, July 9th. We're getting ready to get into ICAST this coming week, and I've got my good buddy again, Paul Hansen. Paul, welcome to the show.
Hey John, how are you, bud?
Doing good, doing good. What we got going on, man?
Well, what kind of life do we live? It's Saturday night and we're here talking to each other.
I know, man. We have no life.
Well, we've got, ICAST just starting in a couple days. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that time of year, and, for guys like you and I and fans and fanatics alike, this is kind of like Christmas, of things we get to see what's coming out for the new year.
Yeah, everybody, for those that aren't familiar with ICAST, it's kind of like the insider, like the industry insider show. So it's in Orlando. It's been there the last several years. It's a really cool destination, so let's hope it stays there. It's kind of cool, but kind of stinks to the guys out on the West Coast. But it's a way for the manufacturers to introduce their new products and new technology for the coming year, so that the purchasers, the dealers, and the shop can go and kind of see what's coming out before they place their orders in the fall for next spring. So that's really what we're talking about whenever you see all this stuff online about ICAST. But it's a really cool show. To get into the show, you have to be connected in some way with the industry, be a dealer or pro staffer or factory or you know what. So it's not too hard to get in the door if you know a couple people, though.
Right. And it's, I remember the first time I went to ICAST, and it was like a kid walking into a candy store.
Oh, overstimulation.
You're just like, whoa, look at all this stuff. Oh, my gosh. And you want to go into every booth, of course. When you go there for a manufacturer, you can't be going into everybody else's booth, but it is cool to just kind of stroll around and see what's new and what makes this industry spin.
Right.
And, the cool thing for you and I is that in the last couple of years, Johnson Outdoors in Old Town has taken the best of show like 2 years in a row with the Predator Series boats,
right?
Which I don't think there's ever been another boat or product, period, that has ever done that I can recall of all the years that I've been to one.
Well, just a couple of years ago, you didn't even see kayak manufacturers really at the show. Last year the year before last was like the first year you really started seeing a lot of the kayak manufacturers out there. Before that, it was purely strictly fishing industry people. But now, oh my gosh, I posted up on Facebook just night before last or last night. I can't even remember now. But who's going to ICAST for an ICAST roll call? And man, we had I don't know, I probably got like 40 people, that said, oh yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and the things that we're seeing now are you're seeing the Chinese market and the Italians and the and the Europeans coming in with all their products, and it's kind of interesting. I just got this past week I got International Trade Magazine for angling, and there's some really cool stuff out there, and they get kind of pushed off to the sides because they're not part of that mainstream, the Daiwas, the Shimanos, the Loomis, TFOs, etc. And they kind of get pushed out. But they do have some really cool products that are coming out, which I always liked trolling over in those areas to see what they're bringing out of China. Now, granted, 90% of all this stuff is made in China or some parts of Asia, but these companies that specifically are separated from the mass industry, they're coming out with some cool things.
I think it's kind of funny though when you walk around, you see some of the really, really cheap OEM Chinese companies. You'll walk around, you'll see all the major manufacturer booths lined up, and you have one Chinese manufacturer right in the middle of them. The title of the company's in Chinese, and it's got a Chinese man and woman standing there all dressed up, all fancy, not a single person's even looking at them. They sell jig heads or something.
Yeah.
They're scattered all around in there, too.
Yeah, it is crazy. And not to mention, also the fly fishing industry, a number of years ago had, came together with ICAST because we had two separate shows, one for fly, which we had out in Denver, and then we had the one, then that was it. And I think it was real important, as being a manufacturer in the fly fishing industry, I thought it was important that we kind of mix these together, and they've done that. It's separate to an extent, but it's still together at the same time, and it allows shops that maybe are not carrying fly fishing equipment to kind of take a look and see what is out there as well.
It's great because you got your shops that might carry conventional and fly gear. They don't have to take two separate trips.
Right.
It's
exactly.
one trip, 1 week off of, closing your shop if it's a mom and pop shop instead of two.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. Okay, so now there's going to be new rods out. Okay. They can't get any lighter. I mean, let's face it.
They're going to levitate now.
Yeah, they're going to levitate, and it's going to be your iPad. You're going to have an app that, casts it for you and does the whole thing. But what do you think, outside of, some of the things that we know from Johnson, what would not surprise you to see this year? Something that's like unique and different. What is one thing that you can think of that would surprise you?
I guess if you're asking me that question, you probably got something in the back of your head that you're thinking of. I mean, I'm excited to see a bunch of different types of super realistic lure manufacturing. I mean, that's one of the big trends that I've seen is just things like, like live target, like really, really super realistic lures. That's one of the trends that I'm kind of expecting. And that's why I'm going to be really walking around with a camera trying to catch that. Some of the companies, of course, I'm a little biased. I got Akuma as a pro staff, but Akuma's coming out with some new reels that are going to be some upgraded reels and some upgraded entry-level rods. I mean, some of the companies are starting to, really pitch more to like a lower price point. So but what I'm hearing is like some good new reels, aside from kayak specifically,
Sure.
And really realistic lures. I mean, you say you're reading up on it, so what are you expecting?
I know Shimano is coming out with some new reels. Luz has got some new speed spools. I know that those type of things. I saw a little blurb from Shimano, and it looks like they're coming out with some pretty tricked out things. Now, a sleeper cell in the reels that came out of Fly was Cheeky. And Cheeky is now moving into the spinning reels, and you're seeing some color combinations. So instead of just the very, a white reel or whatever, you're going to see some powder coated or however they make these things, but you're going to start seeing some abilities to kind of customize your reels.
That's cool.
And doing that with color. And I think that's really unique. I think we're going to start seeing some boutique spinning reel companies come out. Now, we saw that with Van Stahl years ago.
Right.
And you remember how, everybody had, the Stella came out and everybody went, "Woo, my God, that thing, I got a mortgage to the house." And then we saw Van Stahl come out with, a $1,000 spinning reel, and people were like, "Holy buckets." So I think we're going to see that more, some of these boutique spinning reels. Not so much on the bait casting, because I think it just doesn't fit for that. But I think we will start seeing that in that spinning side of some boutique or customization or just really unique type spinning reels in design and colors. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
So tell me, what are you thinking about the new the PDL from Old Town?
I don't know how much we can say until Wednesday of next week.
Well, true. I
was on the design council for it, so I got a little bit of inside information. But it's a nice platform. It's a great addition to the Predator lineup. I know you and I are both, again, biased on that.
Right.
But it's just the options of forward, reverse, being integrated. It's going to be a really nice platform. It's a great addition to what's already the great Predator design for the hull. So I'm really excited to see it, and it's been a several-year project to really, fine-tune it to get it set up just right.
Sure. If people go onto Kayak Angling Pursuit on my Facebook page, I've got a media release that has the photo and has all the specs. Now, it's going in at 117 pounds. Now, the pedal shaft system is 20 pounds.
Right.
We're not seeing kayaks getting any lighter, are we, John?
I mean, you remember back in the day, you had things like the prowlers, and you had the tarpons, and you had Native had a couple of kayaks out, and they were all like, you looked at like 56 pounds was a heavy 16-foot kayak.
Yeah.
And then everybody started getting big, like with the drifter with Ocean Kayak, and the first ride came out with Wilderness. It was like, man, these are huge boats, but they still weren't really standing platforms. And then they started shrinking back down again, and then bang, everybody came out with these kayaks because they had to basically be stand-up platforms because it was the same era as like the stand-up paddle boards. So I think we've really kind of hit that point now, and it just makes you wonder. The funniest thing is whenever I post a video, the videos that get the most hits are related to trailers. People don't care if I post stuff about rack systems or how to put it in a pickup truck, but if I put a video about a trailer, I get 2,000 hits in like a couple of days.
Sure.
And what's that for? Is because the boats weigh 150 pounds stripped down.
Well, that's funny that you bring that up. I just signed on with Malone, and Malone just sent me the new Megasport trailer that is designed for these heavier boats. Right. The tires on them are like Tundra tires for airplanes. I mean, they're huge. The other cool thing that I liked is it's very overbuilt.
Right.
And Malone, as you've known for years, because your involvement with Malone is, that when they build something, it's very well thought out, it's very methodical, and it's engineered perfectly for what we're doing. But as we're saying, boats now are getting heavier. Here's the cool thing about the Megasport. This thing is beefy. The other cool thing about it is that, so let's say you, me, and some other derelict wants to go kayaking. Well, if we're going to put 3 boats on a trailer, it's kind of you have to be creative, right?
Yeah. The
new Megasport the bars are 78 inches long, right?
Yeah.
I have 3 of the sea wings on there, or the gull wings, and I have my 3 kayaks on one trailer.
That's awesome.
And that's what's really cool about this new Megasport. So you'll see that coming out. It'll be introduced at ICAST, and then it will be again at Outdoor Retailer out in Salt Lake City. And AKC is already carrying it. So they were the launch customers. So if people want to see what the new Megasport trailer looks like, go to AKC. I'll be doing a video soon and on that trailer and the highlights. The cool things also are the added things you can do to it. So we got three boats in the lower level, then we can buy the upper deck.
Right.
We can put 2 up there. They've got accessories like the crate box. You can put that luggage rack on there, like a combi box up there. They've got a deal with Flambeau where they've got 2 rod racks now.
Yeah.
That mount up there. Lighting systems, battery charging system. So with your Minn Kota, you could literally plug that into the trailer and charge it while you're driving, essentially.
Nice.
So it's really cool. I'm not too crafty when it comes to putting these. Erector sets were never my forte.
Well, I warned you you'd get a few boxes at your door when it came.
Yeah.
I mean,
there were like 6 boxes.
Yep.
And being a kid who didn't play well with erector sets, I had my dad build it.
That's what's cool about getting it from a shop.
Yeah. So the shops will build it. Unfortunately, we were, I learned, at least my father learned, but he, in the words of Jeff Spicoli, from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. My dad has an awesome set of tools. So he was able to build it all up, and it worked out great. But yeah,
I've had to put a Malone trailer before together before at a show, crawling around on the floor, on a convention center floor before a show, rushing to get it done. I mean they're awesome products, but if you want to get one, just understand you got to put it together. It's not that hard. It's just you got to take a little bit of time and effort to do it. But if you don't have the time and effort to put into it, you can get it from a shop and get it done. So.
But by far, there is not a trailer that beats this Megasport trailer, hands down. Period. End of discussion. So if you want to throw that on your ATV and go deep into the woods with it, it's built like the brick house.
Well, remind me to carry the camera by there too at the show. And I'll beat you to it. I'll beat your video.
I got some work to do tomorrow. So we also know that Feel Free is coming out with a new offshore boat. We've seen some little blurbs about that, and it's about time. Feel Free, they make a nice product and everything. I know you and I are real biased because of our affiliation with Old Town. But it's nice to see that coming out. Engel had a boat last year at ICAST, Engel Cooler, that was designed for tournament offshore fishing. We'll see if that pops up. I've got an Engel catalog, but it only shows their paddleboard. So we'll see that coming out. I think we'll see. Jackson's been quiet.
Yeah.
It's been quiet at Jackson, so it'll be interesting to see what you have to find, what you see with Jackson coming up. I've been scouring the internet looking for anything from Jackson, but no news is good news. We'll see. Hobie, I'm sure, will come out with something new. My prediction is they're going to have reverse somehow and side thrusters.
We're coming up on the second week of July. I'm pulling up now the video here. I just thought I'd go through some of the comments that I got on here. Actually, I know we're throwing some things around. Let's see. Wesley Hackney, also any new crankbaits from Rapala or any other company making crankbaits. I put out a video a couple of days ago, asking what do people want to see. Check out the new Dace Yaks coming out. That's Bo McEwen. Let's see, another one here. This is the one really here. Silball for Liberty, the Akuma Komodo 450, and the Metalloid 12 in, I have to talk about that,
Sure.
And then checking on some travel bait cast rods, the saltwater travel rods. Wesley again, he wants to see what they might have at the Wilderness and Jackson booths. Whole bunch of different things down here. Some more Jackson questions. What are they coming out with? Bass lures. Then of course Kyle Lovett here, one of the regular posters. He's got on here the changes to the Ocean Kayak Trident line. And the new Feel Free Dragon. So that's something we hadn't really mentioned too. The new Tridents too.
Yeah.
But my lips are a little closed.
That's what's cool. And so everybody, you need to come back. And John and I will talk about all this stuff, or John's going to talk about it. I'm sure he doesn't always need to talk with me, but
we do. I do. Yeah.
Of course we do. Of course, we
Godfather.
Do. I unfortunately won't be going. I've got a tournament to pre-fish for, so I'll be busy with that, and so I won't be coming down, which is kind of a bummer because I always look forward to seeing all my old friends and stuff like that, and seeing you, of course. What do you think is going to be like the biggest cool thing that you're going to see at the show this year? Here's my thing. Livingston Lures. I think they're going to be. These guys are kind of on that cutting edge.
That's one of the ones with the really realistic lures coming out. I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to see something on the Livingston that's going to be, now when you and I were at Bassmaster Classic and we saw some of their cool stuff, you know, that was cool. That was already stuff that was out on the market. So I think we're going to see something new from them. Pretty cutting edge. I've been talking to my good friend Glenn Young from Z-Man, and he ain't talking. And Z-Man, you know, those guys are just freaking rocking it so well. And, you know, I'm
going to have some Z-Man stuff probably on, too, because Miles Berghoff from Sweetwater is going to be walking around with me some. And
yep.
I'm not going to say. But, yeah, I know Miles are going to probably be hanging out in a Z-Man booth talking a little, too.
Good. Well, Glenn's watching this. Glenn, you need to call me and we need to talk because I know you're not going to answer your phone this week getting boxed up and everything down to Orlando. But there's going to be some cool stuff. I'm excited to hear from you during your trip down there, and maybe we can do another another show when you're down there.
Maybe from the hotel. Yeah,
that would work.
Right across the street from there.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up this time. I'll definitely be posting up while I'm down there. We'll try to get Paul here on one evening, and everybody got to stay tuned, see what kind of stuff we're going to find, who you might actually see on one of the videos too. Like I already let it slip, Miles is going to be on, maybe talk a little about his show too. But who knows? I reached out to a couple other guys I bump into. Yep.
I would like to see Eric Jackson. See what you can do about that one.
No comment. Yeah, I'll look for him.
Hello. You there? Hello.
Cool. So, Eric, if you're watching this, come look for me.
Yeah, there you go.
So, thanks, Paul, for being on. It means a lot for you to come on the show. Yeah.
Anytime. Always glad to be on. Everybody have a wonderful week. John, safe travels to you. And I look forward to phone calls, texts, photos, all that cool stuff from ICAST.
You'll get them. Thanks, everybody, for watching Fishyaker.com. As always, please subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and we'll catch you on the water.
Fishyaker.com, the original kayak rigging video series.